Good afternoon, and welcome to the American Cancer Society Lunch and Learn event today. We're trying something new, and today we want to talk about Facebook fundraising, Instagram fundraising, and the American Cancer Society fundraising app. A chance to ask any questions you might have, and hopefully we have the answers for you. And since I'm not the one that can do the answers, I'm going to bring on somebody who is Keri Draco. Keri, how are you today?
I'm good, Dan. How about yourself?
I am doing well. This is an exciting time of year, isn't it?
It's a busy time between all the different events that we have going on at the American Cancer Society, whether it be relay and strides, our endurance events. It's just a busy season for everyone.
Nice. And I realize, we're getting into pink and everything is going to talk about strides right now. But what we're going to talk about really covers the whole spectrum. It covers every type of event we do because we use the same platforms, correct?
That is all correct.
So, you know what? Let's just jump right in. And my first question is, you have people that hesitate to start a fundraiser page on the website for the event. Why should somebody do that? What's the importance of it?
Yeah. I mean, for us, it's just our number one way to communicate with participants. That's how you're getting your event details. That's how we know we have the information to contact you, to give you any of those important details for the day of. And when it comes to as far as doing a fundraising page, always having fundraising pages, we're able to connect with our social media. And social media is our main network of communication. And Facebook still remains one of the most used social platforms, with Instagram coming in second place. And we're able to use the social media so we could share a personal why for fundraising and connect with our largest network. Friends that we might not see on a day-to-day basis, so we're not telling them every day what we're up to, but also acquaintances that we haven't seen in years. I know I had someone who I went to college with 10 years ago donate to my fundraising page because he wanted to support the American Cancer Society, and I had a page out there. And, for my numbers, event participants who use Facebook to raise 6 times more than an average participant. So you could just see there, there's so many different reasons why it's so important to connect a page and also, put it out there on social media, how you're supporting.
Now, some folks are a little hesitant about jumping into anything online, let alone social media. So somebody wants to do it and they're not sure what to do. How do you get help? Where can you turn to find some answers?
Well, of course. I mean, definitely always visit your event site. There's definitely resources on there, but more importantly, reach out to the staff partner for who the event is, who's that event manager is, and they can help you walk through and provide the resources. We also have 2 great YouTube videos that we did last year. One really focuses on specifically on Instagram and how to fundraise through Instagram. And the second one is a much longer video, but it's split up into 6 different chapters. So you could choose which one you want to learn more about. But in there, we go through our fundraising app and how to use it and how to sign up. But also there's another section that talks about fundraising and goes through the features and walks you through, and it's a whole video tutorial. It'll look like exactly what you'll see on your screen when you're walking through it, and you can always rewind and go back and forth. So it's really good to have those 2 resources, and I know Dan's going to put them in the chat for us so you guys can visit them, because they live there and you can go and visit whenever you have some new questions.
And I just did put both links into the chat, so they're there. My next question is, okay, we're going to set all this up. What are some common do's and don'ts? What kind of questions do you get and on a regular basis?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with Facebook just to keep it easy for us. Number one thing, you always hear this from anyone who works at American Cancer Society. If you plan on doing a Facebook fundraiser and you want it to connect to the dashboard for your event, you want to launch that Facebook fundraiser through your event fundraising dashboard, whether it be for relay, strides, men wear pink, gold together champions, endurance events, across the board, it has this feature. Right now, Facebook fundraisers are going through some delays, which we are definitely acknowledging and reporting to your dashboards. But we do want to let everyone know, ACS is receiving all the donations, so don't worry about that. It's just on a little bit of a time delay. If you want to see your donations on your fundraising page right away, just go old school. On my dashboards, we always have our own personal participant fundraising page links. Just copy that link, pull up a Facebook post like you would do on a daily basis, share your why and add in, your fundraising link or your team link so they could join your team or donate to you. Everyone has that. So just copy that link and post it. That way the donations will quickly update to your fundraising page if you're worried about a time lag.
I got to say, I like how you say go old school, but it's still technology.
I mean, it was like 4 years ago. It's not that old. And, when we think about it, as our don'ts, you just don't want to directly launch it through Facebook fundraiser from Facebook itself, just because then it's not going to credit to your event dashboard, even with the time lag. And, for Instagram, it's much the same. As for Juge, I always say you have your normal profile. Some people might share, oh, I'm an alum of this school, a little bit more about their life. Just copy that personal fundraising page and drop it right there into your Instagram bio, and either share your why you're fundraising or why you're participating in your event. Whether it be a post and you want it in your feed, you put it in the post, and in the caption section, you'll say, if you want to learn more, if you want to support me, click the link in my bio. Or you could go on a story and post a photo and share about, why you're, participating in the event. And you could use, I call it like the sticker icon, choose the sticker icon and instead choose link and put the link right there, and they could donate or join your team straight from your Instagram story. And I know you put it earlier, but in that fundraising with Instagram video, we go through a step-by-step on how to do that. And really just for don'ts, it's very similar to the Facebook don'ts. If you're going to use the Instagram fundraiser feature, it doesn't automatically connect to your dashboard. So your staff partner will get a weekly report and be able to add in the donations, but just know, especially as the event season approaches and they're bogged down with time, they might not be able to update those in a timely manner. So you could always, just use your personal fundraising link. Those are really our main do's and don'ts for those two things. But I know with everything going on with Facebook, we have a special guest joining us, our colleague Lindsay Pugh, to chat through some more. I know we're getting questions to be there as another resource for us. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good to see you. Now, I got to say, we were talking before we started, and of course, Keri and I are on the East Coast. Lindsay's not even on the West Coast. Lindsay, you're out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, so it is very, very early where you are.
That's true. So if my eyes aren't fully open, that's why. I'm in Hawaii, so it's very early.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. I love some of the stuff you were sharing about Facebook. I do just want to let everyone know that in the past 2 weeks, Facebook has made quite a lot of changes, and they're affecting all nonprofits that they support with their fundraisers. And so in the past 2 weeks, we have seen lots of fundraising credit not going back to your dashboard on your website. And every single day, it kind of seems to change. And the time, sometimes it's just automatic and people see that credit on your websites immediately. Sometimes it's taking 4 or 5 days. So we're trying to get a handle on that. But what Keri was saying was great advice. Copy that link over from your dashboard and post it on Facebook. Also tag someone in the post. That usually makes the algorithms on Facebook make it appear a little bit higher. Ask a friend to comment on your post as soon as you make it. Those are all things that really help that Facebook fundraiser be shown in your feed and make more people donate to it. So there's a couple little tricks and tips that you can do just in making that algorithm work for you.
Great. Now, before I ask my question, for anybody who is watching, if you have a question, please pop it into the chat. All three of us can see that. And Sheila, thank you for your question. I'll pop that up real quick. But my question is, does MySpace still exist? Does it even exist as an app or as a social platform? But anyways, thank you, Sheila, for that. Anybody has a question, please pop it in. When we talk about the fundraising app, what are some features of it? Like what can you do with that app?
Yeah. I'll go first. Like I said, if you guys go into the video tutorial, it will walk you through the entire app. So I'll start with that. But I would say the top 3 features that I use are these. First, the My Profile tab is, there's 5 or 6 tabs across the bottom. My Profile tab in the left corner, I could choose a silhouette image. It looks like a person. And from there, I could choose the option to ask friends and families to walk with me. And when I click that button, it pulls up options. Do I want to send a text? Do I want to send an email? Do I want to send through Facebook? I personally use text a lot. And it just allows me to put in a group message and be like, hey, don't forget to join my team, or I'm making strides this season. Please, support me. So that's one that I always do, but also in the mode profile tab, you could also click the send button in the upper right-hand corner. And that way you could just directly send either your fundraising page or your event page right to them. So it makes it really easy. There's just a lot of features in that tab. I would say my second one would be the fundraising tab. So I have some friends, family who still like to write checks. They like to have, that documentation. So they'll hand me a check, and we are very fortunate because in that fundraising tab, we have the ability to scan checks, just like we were going to, our TD Bank or any other bank account. We could scan that check and it gets directly credited to our fundraising page, as well as Apple Pay and Google Pay. There's so many different ways to collect donations over there. So definitely check that option out. And third, probably the donation tabs is my next top 3 that I go into, because not only can I see all the donations that I've received thus far, but I could swipe left on individual donations and it'll pull up an option to thank the donor if they did it either online or if they had done a check, that we have their communication information. I could swipe that, hit thank the donor, and it'll ask me if I want to send a text, Facebook, LinkedIn message. You get to choose. So it makes it really easy to, thank that person right away after they make a donation for you. What about you, Lindsay? Is there any things that you feel like you often go to in that mobile app?
Oh, you're on mute,
Yep.
Lindsay.
I completely agree with what you're saying. I think that my favorite feature is the share ability. It's got the native share in it, which is just so much more what we're used to when we are sharing things on our phones specifically, where you can just send it to a text with someone. I mean, I know, 10 years ago, we really talked about go on your relay dashboard or your strides dashboard and send emails to all your family and friends. But personally, I don't email to my family and friends anymore. I text them, and it gives that ability to talk to our friends and family like we normally talk to our friends and family, and text out that link to fundraise where people can just click on it with their phones and make a simple donation. So I feel like that's almost kind of the new way of mail and email like we used to have, and you can just text it out to friends and family, which is really lovely.
Before I get to a question that's in the chat, I do want to pop up this from Nick, and because I think this is great, being able to do the checks right from the app is a game changer. I think that is awesome. Makes life so much easier. Thank you, Nick, for that comment. And we do have a question here too from Carol. And Lindsay, Keri, what do you think for this question?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I always say and recommend to any of the participants I work with, and I always say something that you love could be turned into a way to get donations. I have teams who they love to craft. And so her labor of love is that she will, craft different things. She's painted beautiful wine bottles. I actually have one on the bookshelf behind me. And they go to a craft fair and they're able to ultimately sell those for donations. They do it as a labor of love. It's something that they love to do. It's passionate. She enjoys crafting. So she's taken her passion of that and turned it into a fundraising. I always think finding something that you love is the best way to do it, because if you love it, there's of course someone else there who loves it as well. So definitely, Carol, I would always say speak with your staff partner to brainstorm. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone. That's what we're here for, to talk through, to identify, what might work for you, what's worked with other teams. I mean, there's so many different ideas, and we'll be able to post in here in this chat. There's a whole fundraising resource to go through ideas that's not just social fundraising.
And, kind of on that, I've always said, I do communications and marketing. And for me, it's always been, it's the why, not the what. So it isn't that we're doing a walk or a golf tournament or whatever. It's the why we're doing it. So is it fair to say that it's very important to be open and share your why and that personal story?
Of course, definitely. I think anytime you could share your why, it just also lets everyone know there's a community out there. You're not alone, who maybe you form those friendships. And I think putting your personal why too, it also shows that, I won't say you're authentic, but you're being a little more authentic. You're putting yourself out there, you're sharing it. And it could be, it doesn't have to be because, somebody lost. It just might be something that you're passionate about. Like for me, like I'm passionate that, hopefully I don't receive a cancer diagnosis in the future, and I'm making the difference now so that generations from now, like they're receiving, if they do have to go through treatment, it's different than what, those who are going through it now would be. So, we're always all there sharing our why. It doesn't always have to be the same. It's just great to share it out there so everyone can see that they're not alone.
Great. Any other questions from our audience? There's a few people tuned in, so if you have any questions, you've got a couple minutes left to put them in. Meanwhile, Lindsay, Keri, any other thoughts or any other comments about either the social media side of it or the app side or how they interconnect?
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to add also, just on top of what you were asking, what you were mentioning, in response to Carol's questions. I'm such a data geek, but I just, throwing it out there, only 37% of the fundraising that was done for Making Strides Against Breast Cancer across the nation last year came in through online fundraising. So through Facebook, through online, through things like that. So the vast majority of people are still doing bake sales. They are, asking for gifts from their colleagues. They are turning their passion into fundraisers. They're doing things like this. They're using the mobile app to deposit checks they're collecting cash. So I also just highly recommend you, follow your local event on Facebook, be friends with the people who are fundraising on there, see what they're doing, ask other teams at your event what they're doing, look and see what other people are doing and steal from them. This community of fundraisers are usually more than happy to say, like, oh my gosh, you took my idea and did it again. People aren't usually stingy about, oh, you stole my idea and now that's what you're fundraising with. Luckily for things like finding cures to cancer, people are more than happy to share and love it. So I just highly encourage you do that, because so much fundraising happens not through our online tools as well.
And I think that's where the event groups and the event pages on social media, on Facebook, come in handy, because you can share ideas. Sheila just bounced in one that she did last year, and I just popped that on screen because I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah. Sheila actually just sparked my memory. Like, we have a colleague who is known for cookies. Like, she bakes the best cookies, and she will do a drawing for, anyone who makes a donation of $5 or more, whether it be online, whether it be something they hand to her, cash, check, etc. And she will draw every week a winner that will get to bake. She'll give them a baked good of one of her famous cookies. That's usually, she only bakes during the holidays, but she'll bake a few special batches and she'll pull a winner each week. And it's just something that everyone loves. And so it gets, everyone gets sassy. Everyone wants those cookies. So people are making their donations. So I think it just, what you're saying, it speaks to what and it doesn't always have to be something like that. I will always say, and I said old school earlier, coin cans. If you go to a restaurant often and you're loyal, like, I have a pizzeria I've gone to since I was a little kid, and you can ask them and see if they'd be willing to put out a coin can on their counter for you, and each week go and collect those donations. That, those old tried and true methods still work.
Well, what's nice too about all these things we're talking about, even those quote old school things, you can still promote them on your social media. Get it out to your audience, to the people you're connected with. So it's a great way of mixing the old and the new together to bring in some more money.
Yeah, definitely.
Any last minute thoughts before we wrap anything up today?
I just think when all is said and done, we're receiving our donations, you're getting your support. I always say the number one thing is just to remember to thank your donors. Whether it be, you're someone who likes to make handwritten cards or send a note, whether it just be sending them a text acknowledging that they supported you. I think a thank you goes a long way. And I always say, don't forget to thank your donors. Just whether it be, if you want to do it social media and you want to do it as a Facebook post and share it and be like, thank you so much to these individuals who have supported me, and tag them, like Lindsay was saying, it helps with your algorithms there as well. Or if it's, just sending a simple text on the side or a note in the mail, I think it goes a long way.
Awesome. Lindsay, any last minute thoughts?
No, just thank you guys for all joining, turning your passion into something. We're going to listen to 20 minutes of us chatting this morning or afternoon, wherever you are, about fundraising ideas. I just so appreciate the effort and passion you put behind that. And good luck with all of your fundraising this year.
And as a reminder, we put the 2 links into the chat of tutorials that we did last year on the fundraising apps, as well as the social media integration. So please use those, and always reach out to your staff partner. A wealth of information. If the person you reach out to doesn't know the answer, they probably know who does, and they'll get back to you. So thank you. Thank you for everything you do for the American Cancer Society. It is so much appreciated. You are making an impact in people's lives. I'm going to say have a great afternoon, but for Lindsay out in Hawaii, have a great morning, and we'll see everybody later. Goodbye.